Audit opinion. This is the topic that inter-CA students are going terribly wrong in their paper, and it is hurting me. So boss, it is hurting your mark sheet also, because there has never been a paper where they haven't questioned about this. Either incorrect, MCQs, brief answers, somewhere they will test your knowledge about audit opinion. Am I clear with this? So this is going to be there in your paper. 8 marks MCQ was there in December 21 audit report ke upar. Oh, great. MCQs are not coming out in the market, no, openly. So for MCQs, the only thing that we get is news. Okay. So everyone over here, audit opinion. I told you, no, see, I just told you it is, and every attempt, you give me any paper, they will always question you on this knowledge, audit opinion. Okay. Now, after performing audit procedures, sufficient and appropriate audit evidence has been obtained. We will just focus on this area. Just focus on this area. Do not look on the other side of the chart. All right. So SEE has been obtained. Then you found that there are some uncorrected misstatements. Hey, we straight away come to the climax. Now we straight away came to the climax now. That you found some misstatements, you ask them for rectification, but they are not rectifying. Everything is done. And if there are uncorrected misstatements, means you ask them for rectification and they are still not rectifying it. If the accumulation of such uncorrected misstatement is material, that is when there will be an impact on audit opinion. But I need to teach you with examples over here. Everyone, please focus on my examples. Today, I will ensure 100% success ratio, and absolutely no one is going to go wrong. Initially, you will commit many mistakes. All right. But then by the time we end this concept, no one should go wrong. So tell me if you are conducting audit of the Audit Academy financial statements, and you see that you checked my printing and stationery expenditure. All right. You found that in some cases of printing and stationery, there were some cash transactions, invoices not properly maintained. All right. And you found some GST errors also. Okay. So the misstatements that you have found, you obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. The misstatements that you have found, that means the incorrect amount of printing and stationery. Let us say it is 5% of the total expenses. 5% of total expenses. Understood this? Okay. You asked me for rectification. I said, get out from here. Anyway, I said, I will not rectify it. All right. So this was not rectified by management. All right. Now, in your audit report, when you are forming an opinion, can you write that financial statements, they show a true and fair view of the state of affairs and profit and loss and stuff? Can you write this? No. So this is out of option. This is not possible. Then will you write that financial statements, they do not show a true and fair view? Don't you think this is a proper language? Yes or no, sir? Financial statements do not show a true and fair view. Don't you think this is the proper language? Yes, everyone needs to respond. Okay. No, sir. No, sir. Fine. This is not a proper language. Why is this not a proper language? See, because if I'm suffering from malaria, don't tell me that I'm suffering from cancer. Are you getting my point? Malaria is malaria, cancer is cancer. If 5% of total expenses are misstated, you cannot say that financial statements do not show a true and fair view. This is overacting, boss. This is Shah Rukh Khan. So financial statements do not show a true and fair view. What is this? All right. So even this is out of option. So the best set of language will be, the best choice of words will be that financial statements show a true and fair view except for the following. Except for the following. And then you write the exception that, okay, boss, printing and stationery, 5% of total expenses misstated. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, sir? Hello. Yes, sir. Now, such kind of opinion technically is called as a qualified opinion. First, I will teach only basic. It is possible some students would have heard about this earlier. Then I will start mixing everything. Okay. No, qualified opinion. Now tell me why you gave this qualified opinion. Because can I say that the misstatement of printing a stationery, that is 5% of total expenses, can I say this was immaterial? That is why you gave a qualified opinion. Yes or no, sir? This was immaterial. That is why you gave qualified opinion. Yes or no, sir? No, sir. Bevda. Immaterial. Then you say financial by showing a true and fair view. Boss, malaria is immaterial. Malaria is immaterial. Okay. Of course, this was material. But will malaria lead to your death or what? No. This was material. But this was not impacting the overall financial statement. This was not impacting the overall financial statement. So this was material, but not pervasive. Congratulations. I've introduced new word today for students who haven't heard about this word. And I'm assuming in fast track batch that you haven't heard about this. Material, but not pervasive. What is pervasive? When there is an impact on the overall financials, when the impact is huge, it will affect many assertions, many items at once. Then we say it is pervasive. Now, can I say that printing a stationery where you can easily calculate that 5% of total expenses are misstated? Of course, this is material, but this is not pervasive. All right. That is why you said financial statements, they show a true and fair view, except for, and then you can count and tell them that what is wrong. Am I clear with this? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. Yes. Wait. Let me give another example. Let us say that you are conducting audit of the Audit Academy financial statements and you verified admissions of students. And this admission of student figure is materially misstated. You see that GST has not been charged, and whatever GST has been collected, that has not been deposited with the government. Understood this? The whole admission figure is materially misstated. Are you getting my point? Yes, the whole admission figure is materially misstated. Now, in this case, what will you write? Will you write this financial statements show a true and fair view except for the following? Will you use this language? This is cancer. You cannot call it as malaria. All right. So this is wrong English. Then what are you going to say? Financial statements do not show a true and fair view. Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. Hello? Yes, sir. This is the proper statement. Why? Because if admission is wrong, then whatever investments I'm making, it is out of admission. All right. Whatever expenses I'm incurring, it is out of admissions. All right. So don't you think if admission is wrong, then it creates a chain reaction and the whole financial statement could be materially misstated? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. So we understand this very clearly that over here, the impact is not only material, but it is also pervasive. The impact is not only material, but it is also pervasive. So I cannot write like this, financial statement show a true and fair view except for, and then write 10 items over there. I cannot say this, Pragnesh is healthy except for his hands are not working, legs are not working, brain is not working, but Pragnesh is healthy. No, that you cannot say that, right? You cannot create so many exceptions. So you'll have to clearly say that he's not healthy. So financial statements, Bhagwan, only example. Huh? Okay. Financial statements do not show a true and fair view. Are you getting my point? Yes. Yes. Now this is technically called as adverse opinion. This is technically called as adverse opinion. All right. You understood these two examples? Now we just need to understand it in a technical language. All right. Let us come to this. I will also give you the practice of what Institute has asked in the paper, but first I need to finish off the base. So in my both examples, what was common thing? That you obtained the evidence. Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence was obtained. You found some misstatements. You asked me for rectification. I was not doing it. If there are uncorrected misstatements. Of course, the accumulation was material. All right. Let us say that, you found that there are some misstatements in my refreshment expenses. Will you be bothered about that? Will you be bothered about that? Will you be bothered about that? Of course not. Right? In that case, you may say that, boss, financial by showing a true and fair view. Things started to impact you when it was material. In both of my examples, things were material. All right. In that printing and stationery example, it was material but not pervasive. Whereas in my admission example, it was material and pervasive. So when it was material but not pervasive, you gave a qualified opinion. But when it was material and pervasive, you gave adverse opinion. All right. Hey, can you just draft it in short over here? What is qualified opinion? Hey, this is short drafting. Proper drafting I'll show you later on. Financial statements show a true and fair view except for then dash 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 dash. Then over here, financial statements do not show a true and fair view. Hey, this is just rough drafting. So the main words over here in adverse opinion was this word, use of these words do not, and in qualified opinion, except for. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Now look at this. We will create another set of examples now. Over here. Let us say that you are conducting audit of the Audit Academy financial statements, printing and stationery. I gave you bills for many printing and stationery transactions. All right. But I could not provide you. The bills were not given to you for some transactions. And when you did the total of those transactions, it was turning out to be 5% of total expense. I did not give you the bills only to verify. So tell me whether you have obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, yes or no, sir? Yes or no, sir? No, sir. You haven't obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence over here. Just a minute. Okay. You haven't obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence over here. Now, in this case, what will you write in your opinion? Can you write that financial statements, they are showing a true and fair view? No, sir. You cannot write this. Of course, because this is material. This is material, so you cannot just write financial statements are showing a true and fair view. Then in this case, what will be the proper English? Arey, the same English, yaar. Financial statements show a true and fair view except for the following. This is the best English to use. Of course, yes, Gosik, yes. This is the best English to use. Yes. All right. Because the impact still remains. The impact still remains material but not pervasive. The impact still remains material but not pervasive. I will tell you, Santosh, Gusik, what is there in your mind. I will give you that example also. All right. Let us say that if you are conducting audit of the Audit Academy financial statements and you were verifying admissions of students and I did not give you fee receipts. I just did not give you a single fee receipt to verify this admissions of students. What is admission of student? Arey yaar, 100% of my income. Or let us say I have some small investments also. So let us say 94% of my income. Small investments, not big. Okay. 94% of my income. Correct. That is admission of student. Now you could not verify sufficient and appropriate audit evidence not available for 94% of my income. Now tell me, the possible effect is material and pervasive, yes or no, sir? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. Now, I will introduce the third type of opinion. See, but I will introduce it slowly. We cannot write financial statements show a true and fair view. When you haven't obtained evidence for 94% of income, you cannot write financial statements show a true and fair view. Acha, you cannot even write financial statements show a true and fair view, except for the following. Because 94% of the income was not, you are not able to verify. How many exceptions you will give? All right, this is also not possible. Now, will you write that financial statements do not show a true and fair view? Is this a proper set of language? Come on, tell me, yes or no, sir? Everyone needs to come into this. Yes, is this a proper set of language? That financial statements do not show a true and fair view. Let me tell you, even this is not a proper set of language. I'll tell you why. See, if I give you my blood for testing, or if I offer myself for testing, then you will be able to find out, that whether there is a cancer or not. All right. Now, when I'm not offering myself for testing at all, I'm not allowing you to even touch my body. All right. Then in that case, will you be able to come to any opinion over here? Will you be able to come to any opinion over here as a doctor? No, sir. This is exactly what is happening with the auditor in this case. When management of the Audit Academy did not, one example, when management of the Audit Academy did not allow you to verify admissions in a coaching class, not allowing you to verify admissions, that means they did not allow you to touch their body at all. And in that case, doctor will say that I am not able to form an opinion. And auditor will also say that we are unable to form an opinion. We are unable to form an opinion. And technically, this is called as disclaimer of an opinion. I am disclaiming myself from this responsibility of expressing opinion. I am giving you a disclaimer that I was not able to do my job. We are unable to form an opinion. See, when you go for a lab test, there is a blood test, then there are some other test also which I cannot say. All right. And if I give my blood for testing, but I say that I will not do other testing, right? I will not do other testing, right? Then at least from my blood test, something or a doctor will be able to verify. Understood this? So that was the earlier thing. When from printing and stationery, bills were not given to you. Other items, it was given to you for verification. So you did not say we are unable to form an opinion. That would have been a wrong English, correct? Because only printing and stationery, some transactions you are not able to verify. All other data was given to you. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. That is why over here, since the effect was material but not pervasive, it's not like I did not allow you to touch my body. All right. So financial statements show a true and fair view except for the following. But in this, when I'm not giving you data for verification of admission of students, I'm not allowing you to touch my body only. And how will you come to an opinion? That is why we say we are unable to form an opinion. Now, you know what? Some students who would have studied earlier on their own or in a faster manner or in short notes, I'm sorry to say, but when I was giving this example that printing and stationery bills not available, all right, they started writing in the chat box disclaimer of an opinion. That's not your fault. That's the fault in how you would have studied or where you would have studied or whether you studied from some short notes or or some marathon lectures here and there. All right. Because students, they develop this impression that in any case study where sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is not available, just write disclaimer of an opinion. I have seen some professors also giving this shortcut, and that's a disaster. All right. Because in all cases where sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is not available, you don't come to disclaimer of an opinion. I am proving it to you over here logically. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, sir? Disclaimer of an opinion is a very rare thing in market. Disclaimer of opinion is very rare thing in market. It comes when you are not able to verify such items which forms the body of the financial statement. Some very, very sensitive items when you're not able to verify. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. In a manufacturing company, they did not allow you to verify, let us say, purchase and sales. Oh my God. That means they did not allow me to touch their body only. All right. then I'll have to say we are unable to form an opinion. But in a manufacturing company, they allowed you to verify purchase, sales, investments, everything. And let us say the inventory part, inventory was forming 6% of their total assets. They did not allow you to verify inventory, which is 6% of total assets. Then you cannot write we are unable to form an opinion. Then in that case, obviously you'll have to say that financial statements show a true and fair view except for this inventory. All right. Okay. I'm coming to that point, Ritvik. But I need to first clear up these basics. Everyone over here. If sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is not available, all right, that means there is some kind of limitation on scope of audit. Okay. See, this topic is not going to get over fast. All right. You'll have to be patient. Step by step, I will take you. And at the end, you will be able to solve any question that institute throws up. All right. If sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is not available, if there is a limitation on scope of audit, when I say LOSA, means you tried everything, but still evidence was not available. All right. We need to evaluate that for whichever item evidence is not available. What did we do with that printing and stationery if bills were not available? We started evaluating that for the transactions for which bills are not available, even if those transactions go wrong, all right, even if those transactions are wrong, then maximum what can be the effect? All right. So we need to evaluate what can be the possible effect of undetected misstatements. If you forget this line, my soul will haunt you. Very important set of words never to forget. Whenever evidence is not available, we need to evaluate maximum if this goes wrong, what can be the possible effect. And this is not some technical English. You do this in your personal life also. When you send a message to someone, hi, and that person does not reply you, then what do you start thinking? For 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours. I think she's not interested in me anymore. No, I think, whoa, what if she'll block me? So you start thinking about possible effect. Yes. So you are doing this in your personal life. So don't tell me that you're not understanding this language. All right. So possible effect of undetected misstatements. All right. If the possible effect of such undetected misstatement is material, if the possible effect of such undetected misstatement is material, then we need to evaluate. Hello, let us say, Palak, you were conducting audit of the Audit Academy financial statements, and I did not show you the bills of samosas that we had. Do you have a problem with that? Of course not. So you need to evaluate the possible effect, whether it is material. In both my examples, one was for printing and stationery, other one was for admissions. Of course, it was material. All right. Printing and stationery, I did not give you the bills. Total amount was 5% of total expense. Come on, man. The possible effect was material but not pervasive. Then qualified opinion. But when I did not allow you to touch my body, then you as a doctor will not be able to form an opinion at all. So when I did not give you the evidence for my admissions, we came to this disclaimer of an opinion. Disclaimer of an opinion is given when the possible effect of undetected misstatement is material and pervasive. All right. Just write something over here. Then I will compare all the examples again. All right. I'll give you the full mantra what you're supposed to do in exams. Don't worry. Okay. Today you will not leave this lecture as a confused student. So qualified opinion, please draft again. Financial statements show a true and fair view except for the following. And disclaimer of opinion, please write down. We are unable to form an opinion on the financial statements. We are unable to form an opinion on the financial statements. All right. Now listen to me. In exams, what you are supposed to do. Hello. Whenever you get a question. Palak, I'll come to that. Whenever you get a question, all right, you have to first analyze whether you have obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence or you haven't obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. If you cannot analyze this, you will not be able to solve the question. If positively, if you are able to analyze this, you will be able to solve the question. Am I clear with this? Yes, yes. So tell me, when I gave you the first example, that the Audit Academy financial statements, you verified printing and stationery, you got the evidence, but you found that there are misstatements. Means you found that my printing and stationery till 5% of total expenses, it was misstated. Means you actually verified and you could calculate that, okay, this much amount is wrongly recorded. Am I clear with this? Yes or no, sir? So you found evidence, you found that there is a misstatement, you found evidence, you found that there is a misstatement, and that turned out to be material but not pervasive, so you gave a qualified opinion. Look at this, look at this. Everyone, please name this as A and please name this as B so that I can chat with you. All right. Then number this as 1, number this as 2, number this as 1, number this as 2. Okay. Now everyone will look at only A1, A1, A1. Read A1 at once. Read A1 at once. Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence has been obtained if there are uncorrected misstatements. If the accumulation of such uncorrected misstatement is material, then qualified opinion is given when the effect is material but not pervasive. A1 clear, everyone? A1, yes. I will tell you what you're supposed to do in exam also, but theory at least you understood A1. A1 theory understood. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, no one goes wrong over here. Otherwise, you will always remain a clerk and not a chartered accountant. Look at this. Okay. So A2, everyone now on A2, A2. So come on, let us start from the beginning. Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence has been obtained if there are uncorrected misstatements, if the accumulation is material. Adverse opinion is given when accumulation is material and pervasive. Sir, what was the example that you gave for A2? Admissions of the students, you verified it. You found it that it was wrong. It was not that I did not give you for verification. You found that it was wrong. You found that GST was not charged correctly. You found that whatever GST was collected has not been deposited. You understood that whole admission figure is wrong. And that is why you said it confidently that this is cancer. Financial statements do not show a true and fair view. And that is adverse opinion. Am I clear with this? Yes. A2 clear, everyone. A2, A2. Okay. Now B1, B1. Everyone on B1. Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence not obtained. There is a LOSA. Printing a stationery bills I did not give you. It was not like I did not allow you to touch my body. All right. So we need to evaluate what can be the possible effect of undetected misstatement. If the possible effect is material but not pervasive, then we give a qualified opinion. But if I do not allow you to touch my body, then how will you come to an opinion? So if evidence is not available and if the possible effect is material and pervasive, then you give a disclaimer of an opinion. All right. Yes. I'll show you one minor difference in English. If you see on the A side, they use the word effect. If you see on the B side, they use the word possible effect. Because in A side, you are exactly able to calculate things. Correct. So you have come to the effect of something. In B side, since you did not get the evidence, you are not able to calculate. You are thinking what can go wrong. Understood this? So you are deriving a possible effect. These are their favorite words. You do not remember this chart, you will lose up on some marks in exams for sure. I want this chart at the tip of your tongue, even if I wake you up at 3 o'clock in the night. Understood this? So this chart should be there at the tip of your tongue. Now listen to me. What happens in exams? Sometimes in exams, because everyone has a doubt over here, one doubt that all students have. Sir, how will we come to know whether it is material, whether it is pervasive? How will we come to know, sir? First of all, are you humans? Yes. And you have common sense. That's the biggest asset that you have. In all my examples, you only told me what I'm supposed to do. Are you getting my point? So if they give you printing and stationery in a coaching class, and if it is 5% of total expense, do you think this is pervasive? Of course not. So case study will be clear. Don't worry about it. I will show you the case studies of the institute also. All right. If I tell you in a coaching class, admission of the student is wrong, then obviously then the case study is clear that it is pervasive. Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. Okay. Sometimes the questions are incomplete, or sometimes the questions are subjective. In that case, what to do? All right. Okay. Let me give you some situations. Okay. Can you take up all right. I've already given it in my fast track book. I just forgot. Can you please come to page number 203? In between pages, it is just the theory of what I explained. So first, let me clear up these situations. Please come to page number 203. I don't think you will go wrong over here. Yes, but even if you go wrong, it is fine. So you will use Q for qualified opinion, A for adverse opinion, and D for disclaimer. All right. So while auditing a company running coaching classes, you observed that admissions of the students and payment done to professors were wrongly recorded in the financial statements. Wait. Do not jump to the opinion. I will kill you. I will block you in from my life. Focus over here, everyone. When you look at this particular example, tell me from my chart, it is from the A side or from the B side? Whether you have obtained evidence or you have not obtained evidence, it is from the A side. Correct? So first thing is always to understand that you have obtained evidence over here. Okay. Now, in a coaching class, they say that admissions and payment done to professors are wrongly recorded. So tell me, this is A1, A2. This is A1, A2. A1 is for qualified opinion. A2 is for adverse opinion. All right. Only one student said A1. Others all are saying A2. In a coaching class, if admissions of the student and payment done to professors are wrongly recorded, all right, then in that case, obviously, the most important items have been wrongly recorded. This will make the overall financial statement misleading. This is not malaria, this is cancer. This is not only material, but it is also pervasive. This is not only material, but it is also pervasive. Yes or no, sir? Not because I'm telling you, because don't you think that this is material and pervasive? Hello? Don't say yes because I'm a professor. Say yes only if you're convinced. All right. So obviously, this is material and pervasive. You have obtained evidence. This is material and pervasive. And that is why adverse opinion. So you will look at my chart and only then you will answer these situations. Even if you are the smartest person on Mother Earth, still go slow. Okay. Because over smartness has killed many students over here in this particular situations. Okay. Second, while auditing a company running coaching classes, you observed that there is insufficient evidence to verify admissions of the students and payment done to professor. Tell me, insufficient evidence, so it is from A side or B side? B side. And when you are not able to verify admissions of the students and payment done to professor, so it is B1 or B2? Obviously, it is B2. That means disclaimer of an opinion, because you are not allowed to touch the body only. How will I come to the conclusion over here? All right. So this is disclaimer of an opinion. Because sufficient and appropriate audit evidence not available, and the possible effect is material and pervasive. Possible effect is material and pervasive. Done? Yes, sir. Okay. Third point. While auditing a company running coaching classes, you observed that rent payments, which is 5% of total expense, have not been properly recorded in the financial statements. Okay. Now this will test your English. So tell me, this is from A side of the chart or B side of the chart? Everyone has to answer. Even if you go wrong, I will not take your name. Don't worry. A side of the chart or B side of the chart? I'm so happy that everyone has said that this is A side of the chart. Because some students, what happens is, if they have a problem with their basic English, then you see this, While auditing a company running coaching classes, you observe that rent payments have not been properly recorded. Not been properly recorded means you found the evidence that they have been, incorrectly recorded. Some students feel that have not been properly recorded means it was not shown to the auditor. No. Auditor has checked it. He has seen that. He got the evidence that this is incorrect accounting. Are you getting my point? So, student, there are one or two students who said B side of the chart. I want them to understand. Do you realize that this is A side of the chart? Yes. Yes. Okay. For the student who said B side of the chart, need to confirm very quickly. Are you clear that this is A side of the chart, or you can raise hand and ask me doubts? You can come up in the open and ask me the doubts. Okay. Because when they say that this is not correctly recorded, means auditor got the evidence. He verified it and he came to know that this is not correctly recorded. This does not mean that he did not get the evidence. All right. So this is from B side of the chart. Now this is 5% of total expense. So question is very clear. This will be material but not pervasive. No, this is A side of the chart. All right. Evidence obtained. All right. And someone said yes in B side also. So this is A side of the chart. So it is very clear that evidence has been obtained. Evidence has been obtained. The effect is material but not pervasive. The effect is material but not pervasive, and hence qualified opinion. Look at this. You observed that rent payments have not been properly recorded. So evidence was obtained and the effect was material but not pervasive, and qualified opinion. A1, correct. Go slow. Now this is the last chance, boss. You will have to come out in the open, raise your hand and ask. Some students are like, if they go wrong, no, they don't communicate only. Or you have to accept you went wrong and you have to ask if you have not understood. I cannot understand what is going on in your heart. So students who went wrong, this is the final call. Are you clear with this? Yes or no, sir? Or else I will kick you out of this meeting now. Yes? हाँ तो बोलो ना यार. खुद को मोदी समझता है क्या? गलत गया तो गया ना यार. तू बोलना कि नहीं समझ रहा है सर. You have paid fees. You can say that you have not understood. Problem is, you know what? Before clearing chartered accountancy, you want to have an ego of a chartered accountant. All right. You can say that you are going wrong. It's okay. The first step of success is you need to accept that you are going wrong. Everyone stays with full focus on the fourth point now. Otherwise, I could have recorded in front of camera and issued recorded lectures here. I am taking these live sessions. Fourth, while auditing a company running coaching class, you observed that there is insufficient evidence to verify rent payments recorded in financial statements. Insufficient evidence. All right, means evidence not available. All right, B side of the chart. To verify rent payments, which is 5% of total expense. So B1. All right, so qualified opinion. Now, only if you have not understood, let me know what is happening. This badly impacts my health. Unnecessarily, I keep on asking you whether you have understood or not. If you have not understood, let me know. It's your career. You should be bothered about it. Okay. Fifth point. You observe that there are material misstatements in opening balances. You observed that there are material misstatements in opening balances, which have not been rectified by the management. So tell me whether sufficient appropriate audit evidence available, yes or no, sir? So A side of the chart. All right. Now tell me if there are material misstatements in opening balances, which opinion you are going to give over here? A side of the chart is clear that, okay, evidence has been obtained. So it will be from the A side of the chart. All right. Either qualified or adverse, but which one? You know what? The question is not clear over here. They say that material misstatements in opening balances. Now, some students with a very good English, yeah, convent school people. So when you say opening balances, sir, cis means plural. Plural means multiple balance went wrong. Yeah. And that is why it creates an impact on the overall financials, sir. There can be 500 balances out of which 10 balance went wrong. Okay. Still, it will be plural, no? All right. Did they say all opening balances went wrong? So there is no clarity in the question only. They just said material misstatements in opening balances. One thing we came to know that it is from A side of the chart. All right. That auditor has obtained evidence. That is why he could verify this. But beyond that, the question is not clear. Now, you know what? When you start learning costing, accounts, FM, tax, professors always tell you that if the question is not clear, you take an assumption, write in the note to account, and solve the question. Because in those subjects, you are supposed to come to a particular answer. All right. But people commit the same mistake in audit subject. In audit, it is all about discussing the possibilities. Don't push yourself with assumptions. Question is not clear, discuss the possibilities. Tell them it is either qualified or adverse. Tell them it is either qualified or adverse. One thing you came to know that this is from A side of the chart. Yes. But the question was not clear. And that is why your answer will be either qualified or adverse. But listen, in MCQs, hello, in MCQs, if this option is available, then this is the best option. For this situation, for the fifth situation, if this option is available, then this is the best option. But what if in MCQs, they ask you to choose between qualified and adverse? What if they ask you to choose between qualified and adverse? Then what will you do? All right, you will go for qualified opinion. I'll tell you why. Because before you tell that someone is suffering from cancer, you need to be absolutely sure. Are you getting my point? If the question is incomplete, first choice, write the options, either qualified or adverse. Second choice, if they ask you to choose between qualified or adverse, then you will choose qualified. Because you need to be absolutely sure before you say that this is adverse. Ritvik, that is the same mistake that you're committing. Opening balance, I understand it is pervasive. But if you have seen financials of Reliance Industries Limited or Tata's, there are 500 opening balances. All right. Out of that, if few opening balances are wrong, what will you say? It is pervasive. Are you getting my point? So you can never say that every time that balances is pervasive. No, you can't do that. That's wrong interpretation completely. Yes, got it. Very good. I want a confirmation. See, this Ritvik is discussing what is there in his mind. So I can also answer. Some students, if they go wrong 1 or 2 times, they're like, oh my God, now everyone will start thinking that I'm a dumb student. Oh. But you don't have to show off your intelligence over here. You have to show off when you go for a job. All right. Is everyone clear with this? Yes. Yes. I want final confirmation. 5th point, everyone clear? Okay. 6th point. You observe that there is insufficient evidence to verify opening balances. All right. A side from the chart or B side of the chart? B side of the chart. Again, the question is not clear. They just roughly said opening balance. There is no clarity in the question. There is no clarity in the question. They just said you could not verify opening balances. Which opening balance? All opening balance? Some of the opening balance? No clarity in the question. In that case, since it is from B side of the chart and the question is incomplete, since it is from B side of the chart and the question is incomplete, I will say either qualified or disclaimer of opinion. Either qualified or disclaimer of opinion. But again, if they ask you to choose, between qualified and disclaimer, then you will select qualified and not disclaimer. We will revise it one more time. Every batch requires revision again and again for this topic, because I'm trying to make you a master of this topic, not just teaching it formally. All right. So everyone, I am telling you what you are supposed to do in exams. Not only exams, this you are supposed to do in your whole life. All right. This will help you in your practical life also. All right. You have to follow my chart. That's it. Whenever you see a question, you will have to check whether evidence has been available or evidence is not there. That is, it is from the A side of the chart. Yes, Ritvik, I'll come to that. That it is from A side of the chart or it is B side of the chart. It is A side of the chart or it is B side of the chart. All right. Okay. After that, you will check whether the question is clear. If you saw in my first 4 situations, there was complete clarity in the question. Since there was complete clarity in the first 4 situations, I wrote a specific opinion. All right. Because there was complete clarity in the question. But in my 5th and 6th situation, question was incomplete. So I wrote either or. But if they ask you to choose, you will go for qualified over here. In incomplete situations, if they're asking you to choose, you cannot write adverse or disclaimer. Then you'll have to go with the least option, that is qualified. Yes. Okay. Sir, we should choose qualified even if there is none of the above option. See, look, I said none of the above. How can you say none of the above in case of opinion? All right. You'll have to come to one opinion, no, at least. Okay. Sir, Ritvik ka doubt hai in exam, if they ask there are 400 opening balance, out of which 100 they are not able to obtain evidence. Then, sir, Ritvik, this much subjectivity they will not do in exams. I will show you one paper. Wait. Just a minute. They are not there to play games with you. Sorry, not this one. This is in this paper. This question was not there. Just a minute. Yeah, chalo. Everyone over here. Chalo, start. Okay. CA Madhu is the statutory auditor of Lakshmi Limited for financial year 2021 in respect of loans and advances of rupees 75 lakhs given to Shriman Private Limited. The company has not furnished any agreement to CA Madhu. All right. And in absence of same, he is unable to verify the terms of repayment, chargeability of interest, and other terms. So tell me, this situation, it is from our A side of the chart or B side of the chart? B side of the chart. Very good. So one thing we have understood, either from qualified or disclaimer, one of the opinion will be given. Correct? Because obviously, if Madhu is so much interested into this, then this is material. But we'll have to check whether what they're exactly asking over here. Justify the type of opinion which CA Madhu should give in such situation. Also draft an appropriate paragraph and the basis of opinion paragraph. This drafting you will come to know at a later stage. All right. Because I'm still yet to teach you the whole report format. But one thing is very clear. They want you to justify which type of opinion you will give. And they also want you to draft the paragraph. That means they want you to choose one opinion. They want you to choose one opinion. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. Let us say if the question ended over here, if this was not given in the question, then I would have explained them that since evidence is not available, and if you see, although they have given that 75 lakh rupees evidence is not available, but we don't know the total assets of Lakshmi Limited. Let us say if total assets of Lakshmi Limited are 150 crores. Understood this? Then we may just end up with a qualified opinion. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. If the total assets of Lakshmi Limited are 100 lakhs, and out of that we are not able to verify 75 lakhs. Out of 100 lakhs, we are not able to verify 75 lakhs. Out of 100 lakhs, if we are not able to verify 75 lakhs, then we would have given a disclaimer of opinion. Yes or no, sir? Hello, I need everyone to reply over here. Especially students whose cameras are off. You are playing with your career. You have no idea. You have no idea. All right. क्या यार शी कोई प्रोफेसर इतना एफर्ट लेता है झंड की तरह बैठे. Okay. So we are understanding one thing, that if the question did not have this last paragraph, then I would have explained them both the possibilities, either qualified or disclaimer. But since they are asking you to choose, which opinion will you give? Since they are asking you to choose, which opinion you will give? Qualified opinion. Correct. Qualified opinion, because the question is not giving us complete details to give a disclaimer of an opinion. Are you getting my point? Yes, yes. Congratulations. You solved a final CA paper of December 21. Understood this? Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, and you will see, I will show you certified copies of the students of final CA who have gone wrong over here. Sir, why can't we write both? Palak, you could have written both, correct? Either qualified or disclaimer. That would have been a proper answer. But look at the last paragraph. They want you to draft the report. In the report, you can't have two opinions, no? Understood this? So you'll have, that means they're asking you to select one opinion. All right. So you'll have to go by this. All right. So the notes that you have, I challenge you on this. The notes that you have, you can solve even any final CA question on audit opinion or inter-CA to chodo. That anyways you will be able to do. My job is not, to teach you those simple points only. Okay. No, Jay, that is all right. No note required in that answer further. All right. Okay. Done, done, done. So one more time. This is your Bible, Gita, Quran, everything, this particular chart. All right. And my tips that I've given you, you will go by this chart. Even if you're the smartest person, you will go by this chart only compulsorily. And the difficult thing that they can do is they will leave the question incomplete. If the question is incomplete, you discuss either this or that. But if they ask you to choose, then you will go for qualified opinion. All right. Okay. Okay. Now everyone over here. If you see the theory part that is there in between pages, that is just explaining what I explained you orally. What is the meaning of pervasive? What is the meaning of material but not pervasive? All right. Okay. So look at this. Pervasive means as per, come on, quickly, I will just read the theory. Pervasive means, now nothing new, we are just finishing off theory. Pervasive means, as per auditor's judgment, the effect is such that it covers major portion of the financial statement and is not limited to some specific items. So what is pervasive? Something that can impact the overall financial statements. All right. What is material but not pervasive? Something that is material, critical, but not impacting the overall financial statement. The effect is significant, but it is limited to specific items of financial statement and does not cover substantially overall financial statements. Examples are given over there. I gave you many examples. Okay. Now, students, how do we write a qualified opinion? How do we write a qualified opinion? Yes, roughly I told you, financial statements show a true and fair view, except for the following. But now technically I need to read this. So when you are drafting a qualified opinion, this is how we start. To the best of our knowledge and information available with us, in our opinion, financial statements of the entity show a true and fair view. True and fair view of what? Of my face, of the balance sheet and P&L. But see how they are writing it. Of the state of affairs as on year end means balance sheet, and profit or loss account means P&L. And cash flows for the year ended, except for qualified opinion. So except for, now listen to me. In our audit report, we have one opinion paragraph, but we don't create too much mess in that paragraph. Below opinion paragraph, there is another paragraph called as basis for opinion. All right. So why we gave this opinion? That we explain in a separate paragraph called as basis for opinion paragraph. All right. So that is why if you see how this qualified opinion is ending, look at this. Except for, then we will not explain here printing and stationery went wrong and stuff. No, all that we will not explain over here. We will say except for the matters explained in basis for qualified opinion paragraph. That's a separate paragraph given to explain the reasons why what went wrong, because of which you gave a qualified opinion. Am I clear with this? Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Now, how to write or draft an adverse opinion. Okay. What is the main language of adverse opinion? Main language? Financial statements do not show a true and fair view. Then you can decorate it now. To the best of our knowledge and information available with us, Why do we write this first line to the best of our knowledge and information available with us? Because audit is not a guarantee. It's a reasonable assurance. Correct? That is why we write this line. In our opinion, financial statements of the entity, Ritvik, kuch bhi hai? Financial statements of the entity do not show a true and fair view of the state of affairs as on year end and profit and loss and cash flows for the year ended. But we will not explain everything over here, that admissions of the students were wrongly recorded, payment done to professor were wrongly recorded. We will not explain everything over here. We will say due to the matters explained in basis for adverse opinion paragraph. All right. So reasons why we have given adverse opinion, that we will write in a separate paragraph. Done, everyone? Yes, sir. How to write disclaimer of opinion? Hello. In disclaimer, we can't start in this manner. To the best of our knowledge and information available with us, we are unable to form an opinion. It will look the most cheapest version of the words that you have ever used, the most illogical version of the words. So we need to start in this manner only. Yes, we are unable to form and express an opinion. Correct. We are unable to form and express an opinion. Opinion on what? On global warming? No. Whether financial statements of the entity show a true and fair view. And then this line is common. We are not able to form this opinion. Why? Due to the limitation on scope of audit or due to unavailability of sufficient appropriate audit evidence as explained in basis for disclaimer of an opinion paragraph. Done? Yes. So do we have practical examples where disclaimer is given, where we can see it on Google? DHFL audit report, financial year 18-19. All right, because there are rare examples of disclaimer. You will not see it every year. No, because only listed companies audit report, the first we are available on public platform, and some other companies audit report. So, it's anyways not that accessible, this kind of information. All right. Oh, Ritvik, you are typing, sir, Vodafone Idea, what, sir? But you typed Vodafone Idea. If I want to discuss Vodafone Idea, it will be 3-hour discussion. That's a seminar that I have to take. Okay. Done, everyone? Yes? Yes. Okay. So when I'm free, I will put podcast, on those things. Now, but the point is that I'm never free. So we are done with this audit opinion discussion, qualified adverse disclaimer. Sir, in which is the case where we withdraw from the engagement, sir? Oh, Gusik, 30 ml Marana. Listen, I already explained, but but I'm happy you have gone right in most of the answers. Look at this. Come to this page number 199. I've already explained when evidence is not available. If there is a LOSA due to management, then there is an option of withdraw from the engagement. See, when I'm discussing audit opinion, I will not discuss about withdraw from the engagement. Because if you are resigning, that means you are not going to give the opinion at all. Correct? Understood this? When do we discuss audit opinion? When you are going to continue and going to give that audit report. Correct? If you have decided to resign, then go. Understood this? Then don't give the report only. All right. Okay. So we are done with this qualified adverse and disclaimer discussion. Now let me just decorate a little bit. Wait. Please come to this chart, page number 200. Page number 200. This qualified adverse disclaimer, top of the page, you can write down qualified adverse and disclaimer. When you give any of this opinion, we say that auditor has issued a modified opinion. All right. So this is called as modification to the opinion. This is called as modification to the opinion. So qualified adverse disclaimer, another name for this opinion is modified opinion. Some students are so cheap when they are writing the answers. So defensive, I will say. If it does not click to them which opinion needs to be given, they say auditor should give a modified opinion. Diplomatic people. All right. Don't fool the examiner like that. That is the last option. If it does not click only, then rather than writing wrong option, you can say auditor should give modified opinion. That you can do in theory answers. No. All right. That is the last option. But you should always be confident about writing it. Yes, examiner will also modify the mark sheet then. Everyone over here now. Whenever the impact is immaterial, if the impact is immaterial, you are going to write that financial statements show a true and fair view. You have no problem at all, right? Financial statements show a true and fair view. Such kind of opinion is called as unmodified opinion. When you give a clean opinion that financial statements show a true and fair view, such kind of opinion is called as unmodified opinion. But where will I make you write about unmodified opinion? Come to page number 199. Come to page number 199. Over here, we say that evaluate the materiality of accumulated uncorrected mistakes. If the accumulation is material, I said consider impact on audit opinion as per SS 705, which we discussed in the next chart. But if you can pull out one arrow from here, if it is immaterial, then issue clean opinion. Clean opinion, another name is unmodified opinion. Sir, how do we exactly write clean opinion? Oi, smart people, you should understand now. Huh? How we will write clean opinion? How you will write clean opinion? Come to page number 201. Come to page number 201. Come to page number 201. In clean opinion, you will have only these lines up till here. You will not have this except for the matters and stuff. Yeah. So that you will anyways understand. Don't worry. I'm going to show you the whole audit report format. All right. So in that, anyways, I have drafted it. It's ready for you. Don't worry. It is there somewhere in the book. But I'm not naming it right now and unnecessarily creating confusion. All right. So how much we have studied in this first half of the lecture? Yes. We understood the concept of audit procedures. All right. Risk assessment procedure, further audit procedure. Then why are we performing those procedures? To obtain audit evidence, correct? To obtain audit evidence. Then this chart, point number 6, either sufficient appropriate audit evidence available, not available, how auditor deals with that. Then finally, how he reaches audit opinion. Then how you are supposed to form audit opinion, that is on page number 200. All right. And then the supporting theory for that and the examples to prove it. All right. But what was the pro tip for forming audit opinion? You will simply follow my chart, which is there on page number 200. If the question is incomplete, you will write either or. If they ask you to choose, then you will have to go with qualified, because the question otherwise needs to be very clear to go for the other opinions. All right. All right. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.